Are you Matthew Aldridge?
I'm the attorney of fact for Matthew Aldridge.
You were what?
The attorney of fact.
Attorney what?
Of fact.
Attorney of fact. And what does that mean?
You know, right. His authorization to do legal representation.
Are you a licensed attorney?
No, I'm simply an attorney of fact.
Okay. And does that mean you have a power of attorney? What is your name? What is your name?
All right, everyone. Today's court hearing is something else. According to the paperwork, the man at the podium is Matthew Aldridge, but he's insisting he doesn't have a name. Instead, he's calling himself an attorney of fact, which isn't a real legal role. People who follow these beliefs often claim the court has no authority over them, but that's simply not how the legal system works. Courts have authority over anyone within their area. The judge isn't interested in playing along and shuts down the argument right away. By the end, he completely outmaneuvers the man's claims. Let's get into it.
My name?
Yes, sir.
I don't have.
You don't have a name? Pardon?
I'm the attorney of fact for the respondent mayor.
Well, let me explain to you. Only an attorney at law can stand in court and represent a criminal defendant. And to do so otherwise violates the criminal law statutes of the state of Tennessee and could land someone who attempts to represent themselves as an attorney at law in serious trouble. I understand what you're saying. I understand you're saying an attorney in fact. And what I want you to understand is that if you have a power of attorney, then you need to demonstrate that power of attorney. Do you have a legal document called a power of attorney?
No, I do not this time.
Okay. Then you don't have any authority to act on behalf of Matthew Aldridge in this court. You have no legal authority, nor do you have any authority through a legal document to represent or to act on behalf of Matthew Aldridge.
Why don't the court just let me file this document?
Show it to the bailiff and he'll show it to me. Apparently there's a copy here.
At one point, the man hands the judge a document to prove he's an attorney of fact. It quoted a made-up rule that supposedly gives him the right to represent Matthew Aldridge. For anyone wondering, real attorneys must be licensed by the state and follow official procedures. None of this one-page self-declared paperwork. People who follow these ideas often try to argue about jurisdiction, as if announcing they're outside the system makes it true. Spoiler, it doesn't. Courts follow real laws, not imagined ones, and this judge wasn't going to entertain any of it. Honestly, I keep seeing more cases like this and can't tell if this trend is growing or if I'm just coming across them more often. Let me know what you think.
Well, I find that Matthew Neal Aldridge has failed to appear personally in this court for the plea day on his case, which is set for trial tomorrow. And as a result, you have no standing, sir, under what I know what you're trying to do is to try to use the sovereign citizen approach to this situation. And I'm simply telling you that you do not have the right to represent Matthew Neal Aldridge. If you are, in fact, Matthew Neal Aldridge, then you need to say so and stop this nonsense, because what you're attempting to do has no legal effect. You cannot challenge the criminal law or the jurisdiction of this court by simply filing some legal mumbo jumbo having to do with civil litigation. That has civil litigation in it. It is not a criminal case that you have cited. So it has no effect on this court regarding the criminal statutes of this court. This court is empowered under the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the state of Tennessee and by the duly elected citizens of Cheatham County to empower and enforce the laws of the state of Tennessee. And that is what I'm going to do regarding Matthew Lynn Aldridge. Mr. Aldridge is set for today to appear in court personally on what we call our last plea day before his trial date tomorrow.
Is that an article 3 trial?
To what?
Will that be an article 3 trial? A trial by jury with jury?
It would be a trial by jury. Certainly it would be. But I don't know who you are. And I don't think you have any authority if you are not Matthew Lynn Aldridge to appear before this court. And you're wasting valuable time that all of these other citizens who are here today. So when I'm talking, you stop talking. No, you will when I'm finished talking. You are wasting the court's time by doing this. And I'm just simply instructing you that if you are in fact Matthew Lynn Aldridge, then this is your last day to settle your case. The trial date is set for tomorrow, and unfortunately, it will not go forward because of the fact that I have a conflict and I have to be in Stewart County on a civil matter. So we're going to assign a new trial date for Matthew Lynn Aldridge. All right, to Matthew Aldridge and the individual standing before me, whose name must not be uttered.
The judge handled the situation calmly and professionally, even though the arguments didn't make sense. The man barely got through his statements before the judge addressed each point and moved on. There was even a moment where the judge joked about the man refusing to say his own name, which you don't see often in Courtroom. Still, the judge made it clear from the beginning that he wouldn't let the hearing turn into a distraction. In the end, it just shows how ineffective these tactics really are.
Then we will set a July 15th trial date for Mr. Aldridge. Whatever this document is that you have filed is in fact invalid because it does not cite any valid criminal statute, and therefore I'm denying whatever that might be in the way of a motion. The trial date will be July 15th. The last day for Mr. Aldridge to enter a plea or go to trial will be July the 8th. July the 8th. Now, we're going to give you a card. If you are, in fact, Matthew Aldridge and you're just playing games with the court regarding this nonsense that you filed, then you may get this card and you may go on about your business. If you are not Matthew Aldridge, then I would suggest to you, you relay to Mr. Aldridge that he must appear on July the 8th, or a bond revocation will take place, and his case will be will take place with him in jail, incarcerated on the 15th. That's the judgment of the court. You need to take your piece of paper and go on about your business.
People who identify with this movement believe they can avoid the legal system by claiming they don't accept the government's authority. They often refer to things like common law or the UCC, the Uniform Commercial Code, but they misunderstand how these laws work. Courts operate under established federal, state, and local laws that have been in place for generations. There is no legal loophole that lets someone decide the rules don't apply to them. These arguments only slow down the process and can lead to more trouble, not less. The main issue is jurisdiction. Courts have authority over anyone located within their region, no matter what someone declares. These arguments might sound convincing within certain online groups, but judges hear them all the time and don't entertain them. And if anyone thinks this will help them avoid fines or taxes, it won't. In fact, it can make the situation worse. I don't understand why people keep trying these approaches. Maybe it feels like a form of resistance to them, but in reality, it just causes problems and doesn't change anything. That's it for today's breakdown. If you enjoyed this, feel free to like and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts on this topic in the comments. Thanks for watching and take care.